Different date, same fate. I'ma knock out Jake Paul.
Mike Tyson just intimidated Jake Paul with a $350 million lawsuit if he cancels the fight. I guess Mike caught on to Jake's little plan to dodge the showdown he begged for. We all know the fight is just postponed, but Jake's already hitting up KSI, Mike Perry, and probably every other boxer in his contact list for his next fight. Seriously, shouldn't he be focusing on training for November 15th instead of playing phone tag with every fighter out there? But no, Jake's already announced that this chapter is closed. Seems like someone got cold feet and jumped at the first chance to back out of a decision he's seriously regretting now. Well, the reason why Jake is thinking about canceling the fight is a real shocker, but I'll spill the tea on that later. First, let's talk about how obsessed Jake was to fight Mike. Jake Paul has been like a dog with a bone, constantly going after Mike Tyson, calling him old and easy to beat. This was all part of Jake's master plan to grab fame by taking on boxing legends. By challenging someone like Tyson, Jake wants to prove he can hang with the best, even if they're not in their prime anymore. Jake's got this confidence from seeing Tyson as an old-timer who's not the beast he used to be. Jake's been mouthing off, saying things like,
"But what I promise to the people is on July 20th, Mike will be put to sleep, and he will feel my power, and I will go down as the man who put Tyson to sleep for the last time."
This in-your-face attitude is classic Jake Paul. He's built his boxing career by picking fights with big names who aren't actually boxers. It's a smart move because he gets to boast an impressive record without taking on seasoned pros. And Mike Tyson is a whole different story. Tyson's a boxing legend, and even now, his name alone commands respect and a bit of fear. Jake's been trying to play the age card, making it seem like Tyson's washed up. It's great for creating buzz, but it's also set Jake up for a massive challenge. Tyson's got tons of experience and a reputation that's unmatched, so fighting him is no joke. Means just have a look at what Joe Rogan has to say.
There's not a fucking chance in hell that Jake Paul would survive against the Mike Tyson.
Jake's bold claims and cocky attitude have definitely gotten people talking. He's drawn a lot of attention, both good and bad. By constantly taunting Tyson, Jake's made sure that everyone's watching this potential fight. His knack for stirring up controversy and hyping things up has kept him in the spotlight, making this one of the most anticipated events in recent boxing history. And do you know why Jake was so insistent on fighting Mike Tyson? To show off his power? Nope. Just for fun? Not even close. Jake Paul has built his boxing career by handpicking opponents who are big names but not actual boxers. Clever, right? His first big fight was against former NBA player Nate Robinson on November 28, 2020. This fight ended with Jake knocking Nate out in a dramatic fashion that went viral, shooting Jake into the boxing spotlight. Next, on April 17, 2021, he fought Ben Askren, a former MMA guy known for his wrestling, not his punching. Everyone was buzzing about this fight, doubting Jake could take down a seasoned combat athlete. But Jake played it smart and knocked Ben out in the first round. Another knockout, another boost to Jake's growing rep in the boxing world. But Ben once said about him that,
and so his skill as a combat athlete probably is not that high yet.
Then came the fights with former UFC champion Tyron Woodley. The first one on August 29, 2021 ended with a split decision win for Jake. Not too shabby. But the rematch on December 18, 2021, Jake knocked Tyson out cold. These fights really showed how Jake uses his brains over brawn. These victories helped Jake craft his image as the youngest boxing sensation. Each fight was a calculated move to build his confidence and reputation, keeping him in the public eye. And it worked like a charm. He's got a massive following and tons of media attention. By fighting non-professional boxers, Jake hasn't faced anyone with serious boxing experience. It's a smart strategy that's built him an impressive record and a lot of buzz. But it also leaves a big question mark over his ability to go toe-to-toe with a real pro. As Mike said,
Who did he knock out? Who did he knock out? Little children. He didn't never knocked out a real man. Come on.
Jake's been super strategic and smart about his fights. But this approach has also created a narrative that he hasn't been truly tested yet. His confidence is built on a series of well-chosen fights. But now the pressure's on to prove he can handle a more formidable opponent. As he aims to fight legends like Mike Tyson, his confidence will face the ultimate test. At first, Jake Paul thought Mike Tyson was just an old-timer, an easy competitor he could knock out without breaking a sweat. But then, early June 2024 rolled around, and the internet exploded with Tyson's training videos. And let me tell you, those videos hit Jake's camp like a ton of bricks. Tyson, at 57, Looks like he's ready to chew through steel bars, showing off the speed, power, and agility that made him a legend. I bet Jake had to pick his jaw up off the floor after seeing that. These clips show Tyson doing it all. Sparring, pounding the heavy bag, nailing agility drills. His punches still look like they could break through concrete, and his footwork, slick as ever. This wasn't the old slowpoke Jake probably imagined. When these videos dropped, you could almost hear the panic alarms going off in Jake Paul's camp. Reality hit hard. Seeing Tyson moving with the same ferocity and precision as he did in his prime was a wake-up call. Jake and his team suddenly had to rethink their entire game plan. What they thought would be a walk in the park was now looking like a trek through a minefield. Jake's been cruising along, building his career on carefully selected matchups against guys who, let's be honest, didn't have the boxing chops to give him a real run for his money. But now, he's staring down the barrel of a fight with Tyson, who's not just some big name. He's got the skills, the experience, and the hunger to back it all up. This isn't just another YouTuber or retired athlete. This is Iron Mike. So after Mike Tyson's training videos leaked and showed him in beast mode, the boxing world started buzzing about Jake Paul getting cold feet. Tyson was looking fierce, and people were wondering if Jake was secretly shaking in his boots. And then it seemed Jake's prayers got answered. The big fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul hit a massive roadblock because of Tyson's health issues. On June 10, 2024, while flying from Miami to Los Angeles, Tyson had a scary health scare that threw a wrench in the whole plan. About 30 minutes before landing at LAX, Tyson started feeling intense pain, dizziness, and nausea, which freaked out everyone on board and had the flight crew calling for paramedics as soon as they touched down. As soon as they landed, Tyson was rushed to the hospital, where doctors found out he had a severe ulcer flare-up. They released an official statement on June 12th, confirming that Tyson needed to chill out for a few weeks to let the ulcer heal and avoid making things worse. This medical advice meant the fight, which was supposed to go down on July 20th, had to be postponed. The news about Tyson's health scare and the fight delay spread like wildfire. Fans in the boxing community were both surprised and worried, given Tyson's legendary toughness. Social media blew up with people sending their best wishes for a quick recovery, while others started guessing about what this meant for the future of the fight. This delay was a huge deal for the event's organizers and promoters. They had poured a ton of money into promoting what was hyped as one of the biggest matches of the year. Tickets were selling like hotcakes, and the pay-per-view was expected to bring in a fortune. Now they had to deal with all the chaos and financial headaches that come with rescheduling such a major event. For Jake Paul, this twist of fate was both a blessing and a curse. On the plus side, he got more time to train and get ready for a fight that looked way tougher after seeing Tyson's insane training videos. But on the flip side, the delay brought uncertainty and left him in limbo, not knowing when or under what conditions the fight would eventually happen. Reactions in the boxing world were all over the place. Some people shrugged it off as just part of the sport. After all, fighters' health has to come first. Others thought Jake might actually benefit from this postponement, giving him extra time to plan and train. But overall, everyone was hoping Tyson would bounce back quickly so they could get the fight back on track. Fast forward to June 15, 2024, and Jake announces he's fighting Mike Perry on July 20th, which just so happened to be the original date for the Tyson fight. Coincidence? I think not. Jake picking Mike Perry, a former UFC fighter known for his striking, seemed like a strategic move to keep the fans entertained and the tickets selling. Basically, it was a filler fight to keep the show going while everyone waited for Tyson to recover. By setting up this fight, Jake was trying to keep the momentum rolling and make sure people stayed interested. Now, if you were following Jake on social media, you'd notice he was practically screaming "help" without actually saying it. He was posting stuff that hinted he wasn't too thrilled about facing Tyson. In one post, he shared a clip of Tyson training with a caption that mixed awe and a bit of terror. Then, on June 18th, he tweeted something that sounded a lot like relief about Tyson's health issues, giving him a temporary break. Jake's post painted a picture of a guy who was having second thoughts about the big fight, but Tyson wasn't having any of it. On June 20th, 2024, he dropped a bombshell, a $350 million lawsuit threat if Jake bailed on their fight. Tyson's legal team made it clear they were serious, highlighting all the money tied up in pay-per-view sales, sponsorships, and other earnings. Basically, they were saying, "Jake, you better show up or else." This lawsuit was no small matter. Jake Paul, despite his substantial earnings from YouTube, boxing, and various business ventures, stood to lose a significant portion of his wealth. Jake has an estimated net worth of around $30 million as of 2024, derived from his successful YouTube career, which boasts over 20 million subscribers, his pay-per-view boxing matches generating millions of dollars, and his investments in various entrepreneurial ventures, including his clothing line and social media brand deals. A $350 million lawsuit would dwarf his entire financial portfolio, posing a potential financial catastrophe. The legal threat from Mike Tyson, announced on June 20, 2024, was a strategic maneuver that applied immense pressure on Jake to follow through with the fight, regardless of his personal reservations or fears. The $350 million figure was not arbitrary. It reflected the enormous financial stakes tied to the event, including pay-per-view revenue expected to exceed $100 million, sponsorship deals worth over $50 million, and other ancillary earnings such as merchandise sales and global broadcasting rights. For Jake, the prospect of facing such a colossal lawsuit added an overwhelming burden, transforming the bout from a physical challenge into a financial and existential battle. For Tyson, the lawsuit was about more than money. He had put a lot into this fight, both financially and personally. By threatening to sue, he was protecting his investment and making sure all the buildup and prep didn't go to waste. It also showed he was serious about the fight and wasn't going to let Jake back out easily. So now Jake wasn't just dealing with the fear of facing Tyson in the ring, he was also staring down a massive financial hit if he tried to back out. This whole situation added another layer of stress and complexity to Jake's decision, making it clear that there was no easy way out. Don't you think Mike pulled the ultimate power move here? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's see whose team Tyson and whose team Jake better start training like his life depends on it.